Isaiah, chapter 2. New English Translation. Here is the message about Judah and Jerusalem that was revealed to Isaiah son of Amoz. In the future the mountain of the Lord's temple will endure as the most important of mountains, and will be the most prominent of hills. All the nations will stream to it.
Isaiah 2, Bible in Basic English. The word which Isaiah, the son of Amoz, saw about Judah and Jerusalem. And it will come about in the last days, that the mountain of the Lord will be placed on the top of the mountains, and be lifted up over the hills, and all nations will come to it.
Many peoples will come and say, "Come, let us go up to the Lord's mountain, to the temple of the God of Jacob, so he can teach us his requirements, and we can follow his standards."
And the peoples will say, "Come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will give us knowledge of his ways, and we will be guided by his word."
For Zion will be the center for moral instruction. The Lord will issue edicts from Jerusalem. He will judge disputes between nations. He will settle cases for many peoples.
For out of Zion the law will go out, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, and he will be the judge between the nations, and the peoples will be ruled by his decisions.
They will beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations will not take up the sword against other nations, and they will no longer train for war.
And their swords will be turned into plough-blades, and their spears into vine knives. No longer will the nations be turning their swords against one another, and the knowledge of war will be gone forever.
O descendants of Jacob, come, let us walk in the Lord's guiding light. Indeed, O Lord, you have abandoned your people, the descendants of Jacob, for diviners from the east are everywhere. They consult omen readers like the Philistines do.
O family of Jacob, come, and let us go in the light of the Lord, for you, O Lord, have given up your people, the family of the Jacob, because they are full of the evil ways of the east, and make use of secret arts like the Philistines.
Plenty of foreigners are around. Their land is full of gold and silver. There is no end to their wealth. Their land is full of horses. There is no end to their chariots.
Because they are full of the evil ways of the east, and make use of secret arts like the Philistines, and are friends with the children of strange countries, and their land is full of silver and gold, and there is no end to their stores. Their land is full of horses, and there is no end to their carriages.
Their land is full of worthless idols. They worship the product of their own hands, what their own fingers have fashioned. Men bow down to them in homage. They lie flat on the ground and worship.
Their land is full of images. They give worship to the work of their hands, even to that which their fingers have made. And the poor man's head is bent, and the great man goes down on his face. For this cause there will be no forgiveness for their sin.
Don't spare them. Go up into the rocky cliffs, hide in the ground. Get away from the dreadful judgment of the Lord, from his royal splendor.
For this cause there will be no forgiveness for their sin. Go into a hole in the rock, covering yourselves with dust, in fear of the Lord, before the glory of his power.
Proud men will be brought low, arrogant men will be humiliated. In that day, the Lord alone will be exalted.
The high looks of man will be put to shame, and the pride of men will be made low, and only the Lord will be lifted up in that day. For the day of the Lord of armies is coming on all the pride of men, and on all who are high and lifted up, and on all the high trees of Lebanon.
The Lord who commands armies has planned a day of judgment, for all the high and mighty, for all who are proud, they will be humiliated, for all the cedars of Lebanon, that are so high and mighty.
And on all the high trees of Lebanon, and on all the strong trees of Bashan, and on all the high mountains, and on all the hills which are lifted up, and on every high tower, and on every strong wall, and on all the ships of Tarshish, and on all the fair boats.
For all who are proud, they will be humiliated, for all the cedars of Lebanon, that are so high and mighty, for all the oaks of Bashan, for all the tall mountains, for all the high hills, for every high tower, for every fortified wall, for all the large ships, for all the impressive ships. Proud men will be humiliated, arrogant men will be brought low. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day.
And the high looks of man will be put to shame, and the pride of men will be made low, and only the Lord will be lifted up in that day.
The worthless idols will be completely eliminated. They will go into caves in the rocky cliffs and into holes in the ground, trying to escape the dreadful judgment of the Lord in his royal splendor, when he rises up to terrify the earth.
And the images will never be seen again, and men will go into cracks of the rocks, and into holes of the earth, for fear of the Lord, and before the glory of his power, when he comes out of his place, shaking the earth with his strength.
At that time men will throw their silver and gold idols, which they made for themselves to worship, into the caves where rodents and bats live, so they themselves can go into the crevices of the rocky cliffs and the openings under the rocky overhangs, trying to escape the dreadful judgment of the Lord in his royal splendor, when he rises up to terrify the earth.
In that day men will put their images of silver and of gold, which they made for worship, in the keeping of the beasts of the dark places, to take cover in the cracks of the rocks, and in the holes of the hills, for fear of the Lord, and before the glory of his power, when he comes out of his place, shaking the earth with his strength.
Stop trusting in human beings, whose life's breath is in their nostrils. For why should they be given special consideration?
Have no more to do with man, whose life is only a breath, for he is of no value.